morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
Pair of panties.
The juice is loose.
Doesn't matter. Nothing matters, no.
The Beezer.
Maybe you got off on the wrong foot because what were you doing in the produce section?
I was trying fruit on.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper, gang. Yeah. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that is good news.
It is the 26th day of April 2024. We got us a quarterback. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. My name is Chris Hockey. Yeah, a quarterback and a big-time defensive player. Drafted it in the first round. All of that covered today, plus the initials game. Let's get right to some comedy and get this show started. So much to get to. Here's Mike Birbiglia on the Power Trip Morning Show. Now you, come on in. It's Friday morning. And I'm glad you're here.
So I'm at the U.S. Open. We bought a pretzel, and it was for $5.25. They really mark up the prices at the sporting events. Like, they were selling peanuts for $6 a bag, which peanuts is like the universal symbol for like nothing. You know, like, they're paying me peanuts around here. You know, the price of peanuts went up, I guess, and they're $6 a bag. That's like Armageddon prices. Like if the sky was black and there was like unicorns like flying around, shooting lasers out of their hooves. You know, peanuts would be $6 a bag, and there'd be like one guy who's trying to sell them for $8, and everyone would be like, "That guy's crazy."
He wanted to be a catcher.
You hear the distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
That was part 2.
Hi, meat. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show, Friday, April 26th of 2024. I thought yesterday was going to be Sauce's Christmas. It turned out to be Zach Halverson's. J.J. McCarthy is a Minnesota Viking.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas, Zachary. Congratulations. It is Friday, so the gentleman, John Kriesel, is here. Hi, John.
Good morning.
Lots to discuss. After months and months and months and months and months of talking and talking and talking and talking, we have two big-time players in a pretty unlikely scenario. I think a scenario that nobody saw coming, which was getting the guy we wanted, still having 23, and then moving up again. What a bunch of psychos last night. That was fun.
It was weird.
It was badass.
It might not work, but for at least one night.
Correct.
Right? It feels like on paper they just crushed it.
On
you have to
paper,
shoot
it
your
looks
shot.
badass.
You have to shoot your shot. It feels a little weird because, and I would never pretend I watch a lot of college football. I don't. So, I'm sure J.J. McCarthy's awesome. Excuse me. But it was so abundantly clear they were trying to get to 3. J.J. McCarthy could still be awesome, and then we'll forget about all this. But we did have to settle, and I'm fine with it. If New England absolutely was like, we want this guy, we're taking him, or we'll move out of the spot, but you have to give us 2 more first-round picks, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this because they got a guy that they clearly loved. And then Dallas Turner, let's go.
Yeah, what a weird way for the board to fall, right?
Yeah.
14 straight offensive players, so the Vikings are sitting there at 23 going, we just have to jump up a handful of spots and we can have almost our pick of anybody on the defensive side of the ball. So
this defense
Dallas
is
Turner at what, 17?
With the 17th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Dallas Turner, linebacker, Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, nobody saw that coming because everybody thought.
I did.
Dallas Turner
Well,
did. Did you see those sunglasses he was wearing? He could see into the future.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he'd be a top 10 pick. Everybody thought he'd go to Atlanta. That's another story we could talk about.
Makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
None.
I love it.
I love it so
I love
much.
it too.
Well,
I love how mad he is.
That's such a huge boost to us, right?
Yeah.
We needed that was to get McCarthy to 10 or 11, ends up being 10. That was kind of gigantic for that not to be.
What in the hell were they
So
thinking?
I have no idea.
or the Giants not taking a quarterback. We had to dodge that bullet at pick 6.
I mean,
But
I
they
don't
were
even
in
care about that.
yeah.
They just spent $50 million on a quarterback.
I don't understand it because And you say what you want. Kirk Cousins, the Vikings never drafted a first-round quarterback. They kept Sean Mannion as the backup, so no one would push him for the starting job. And he doesn't even take a training camp practice, and they've not only drafted his replacement, this is somebody that in a year or two might be the starting quarterback. It's so odd. The only team that you maybe have to ask that you would be more shocked about taking a quarterback is the Chiefs. This is the most shocking pick, I think, in a long time. What are they doing?
But if they loved the guy that much, go get him.
Yeah, but you're building a Super Bowl roster. That's what their goal is. He doesn't help you win a Super Bowl.
That's what Aaron Rodgers always got pissed about is Jordan Love might be a good player,
Roma
but
Dunze.
you got to get me a weapon, right? When you're Kirk Cousins and you go to Atlanta because you think they're Super Bowl ready, they're just a quarterback away from a Super Bowl. And then they draft a 23-year-old. Michael Penix is going to be 24 in about a week and a half. He'll be 24. He's had about 19 season-ending surgeries.
That's the other thing.
So by the time he even gets in there, right? Because Kirk Cousins' deal is really a 2-year deal, right? Not 4. It's really 2. But so you're talking about 26?
Right.
Maybe if Cousins plays the next 2 years, you're talking Penix doesn't take over until 26 years old.
Right. I think the Kirk deal, though, year 3, they have to decide right away. Otherwise, a good chunk of his year 3 contract is guaranteed, I think. So it is essentially they could get out after 2 years, but they can't hem and haw. So if they love this guy this much and grabbed him, more teams should do that. And I know Aaron Rodgers had said he would be annoyed because he wanted more role players around him and that he felt that was a wasted pick. But a lot of it was, too, I'm the guy. I don't want another one in the room staring at me, wanting to take my job. That's what it was about. He would say the other stuff. He would say all the right things. But I think more teams should do this and say, all right, Kirk, it doesn't work. And it doesn't matter if they go and win a Super Bowl and Kirk is awesome. No one's going to really look at this and say, you idiots, why did you do this?
Yeah, but
he might be a good backup even.
But if Roma Dunze, the guy that was picked later, is a monster, a guy they could have used, then people will say that. It just... On a team, unless you're picking like in the top 3 and you're just a barren team and you need a quarterback, that makes sense. But at the 8th pick, that's a luxury pick. You take the best player available. You take Dallas Turner, you take Terry Arnold, you take Roma Dunze, you take any one of the other defensive linemen or defensive ends, and you take a quarterback.
What is this, Falcons fan line?
I just don't get it.
What's going on?
I don't get it. But I love what the Vikings
I do too.
did.
Yeah.
And maybe the Achilles isn't healing the way
that's another thing, Hawk. They brought that up a lot.
But even if it's going to take him a month or so to be ready, you don't draft a quarterback 8th just to delay Kirk a month.
You take one in the third round.
This makes no sense.
But
again, advantage Vikings because it was a pick that made no sense ahead of the Minnesota Vikings. But one of the, when we first hit the offseason, one of the first things we all talked about was
buttholes.
I would argue
we did. You talked.
We did
about
a 2-hour podcast
Move
on
on
buttholes.
to the second thing.
Yeah, well, Zach's now going to talk more about buttholes.
We've talked
Sometimes I don't
ad
have to say
nauseum about buttholes. I'm so tired of talking about buttholes.
This is butthole fan line?
Zach, why are you smoking? Are you that excited about McCarthy?
I was.
Speaking of 2-hour podcast about buttholes.
Right.
Was a lot of us, myself included, I wanted, let's re-sign Kirk Cousins, let's draft the future.
Yes.
Right? If you had said Cousins for a 2 or 3 year extension and we can get our hands on J.J. McCarthy or Drake May or whoever at pick 11, I'd say, home run, let's go. Let's keep it going. That's exactly what the Falcons are doing, and Kirk didn't want that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is unbelievable.
What was the reaction at the draft party when Penix was selected?
I mean, from what I could hear, there was shock and
I mean,
because
that was the most shocking
greatly
thing.
affected. I mean, that is when I started watching after the brief run on quarterbacks. Every pick, I was like, "Who's going to jump up?" And when it would say the pick is in instead of it's been traded, I'm like,
"Yeah, correct."
Just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then the Giants
and watching
didn't take a quarterback.
Check this out.
Oh, so weird.
Listen to this. This is a great. He might not even be just covering his butt. This is a really good point on his part. Raheem Morris, the Falcons head coach, said this about why they picked Penix.
We don't want to be picking on it anymore. And Terry's done a nice job of getting us some really good players, some quality players, but we don't want to be back in that position. So let's move forward, think about the future, address that right now.
He said, basically, we're going to be so good next year, we're not going to have a low draft pick like this again. So we got to get our future quarterback while we still have a number 8 draft pick because we're going to have the number 32 draft pick from here on out.
And the Vikings might end up with one of their picks or something.
Well, that's the other rumor. Somebody said yesterday that they might lose a first-round pick next year. That might be the punishment.
Yeah.
That was why they did it.
Here's Raheem Morris commenting on whether or not they did it because of Kirk Cousins' injury.
It's nothing to do with the injury. I think if we were fortunate enough, we talked about it, to have Kirk for his 12-year career with us, we still be in that position thinking about potentially going to get our quarterback or going to get the quarterback for the future.
I have a quick question, and I know you can't see the future, and I know...
Oh, I can.
I know...
It looks like Dallas Turner can.
Yeah, it looks like Dallas Turner can.
He doesn't need
if you started the draft process, probably you started with, in January with all the bowl games, right? December and all that with all the bowl games, right? They played on 2 national TV bowl games, Washington Huskies did. Why did you sign Kirk? You knew you could get him at the 8th overall pick.
Oh, for sure.
Why did you even sign him then? That's the other thing. You could have taken Dallas, you could have taken Penix at 8, and then you had even more money to build a team around him. Why even sign Kirk Cousins? That's my question.
I don't know, but like I said, the beauty of this is when Penix goes off the board at 8 and the Vikings are 3 picks away, you're like, well, now if you really want McCarthy, you probably got to get up and get him.
Mm-hmm.
The threat of the Raiders and the Broncos, all those teams that were right behind the Vikings. I know Kwesi said that he had confirmation that other teams were interested in the Jets pick, and that's why he had to move up 1 spot and give up a 4th and a 5th. Who cares? Whatever. Take more. I don't care.
Correct.
Right? Take as many as you want.
Correct.
The Broncos and the Raiders must not have wanted it too badly because that's not like here's an offer you can't refuse.
Right.
If it's, they had to move up, otherwise Sean Payton was going to do it. Sean Payton can't offer more than that to get his guy, which means he was content with Bo Nix.
Correct.
I don't think the Vikings were content with Bo Nix.
Or they were worried that the Vikings had that additional ammunition if necessary. So sort of just putting the feelers out and then saying, if the Vikings so badly want to move up, they're going to be able to offer more, no matter what. So maybe that was enough to kind of keep them at bay. But another reason why I'm excited they have J.J. McCarthy, this is the first time in a long time, because I didn't feel this way about Christian Ponder. Hindsight aside, when they drafted him, I was like, what?
Reach.
Who is this? I didn't even know who it was. We all know who J.J. McCarthy is. We're excited about it, but it does feel weird because, A, it wasn't our first option. It wasn't the guy we absolutely wanted. And B, what are we missing? Why didn't Atlanta take him? If they were set on taking another quarterback there, why didn't they take him? Why didn't the other teams want to jump up? Obviously, they could have traded with the Giants or someone else. So do we know something others don't? I don't know, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Here is our new quarterback on how excited he is to be in the state of hockey.
Hockey was my first love. I started when I was 5, and that was my first sport. And I just loved everything about it, the toughness to it, the work ethic to it. Everything about hockey is something that helped elevate my game in football because as a quarterback,
you're welcome.
There's very little opportunities to display toughness. And being around guys that have gotten their face split open with 110 stitches coming in following 2 days after that, and then screaming at the coach for taking them out of the game while they're bleeding uncontrollably out of their face. It's little stuff like that where you get a sprained ankle in a game and you're just not going to sit there and be like, oh, I can't do this, because I've seen people overcome and want to overcome way worse obstacles. So being able to, draw back to those experiences has been invaluable, and, it's definitely going to pay dividends along the line here.
Sounds like he needs to go to johncreasel.com.
Yeah, right.
Sounds like I'm going to be cutting that audio up.
Yeah, for sure. He loves you.
He loves me.
Yeah, he does.
Can't say something.
Yeah, that's good.
Zach, he likes the sport of hockey, THC gummies, and the band Shinedown.
Does he really?
Man,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't need any of that, but
are you going to go to the press conference today?
Yeah, what time is it at? Where?
I don't know.
I'm going to guess down.
I would guess noon.
Yeah, and I bet it's at Vikings headquarters.
Yeah, and PA and Nordo are there.
Aren't we on TV in a minute?
I don't know. About 20 minutes.
Yeah, if you want to see us on become big television stars, you might want to tune into what channel?
KARE 11 Sunrise.
That's right, KARE 11 Sunrise in about a little after 6 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do I look?
You look hot.
handsome.
Cool. Should I put a hat on? Or, do I have the Uncle Fester look going here? Should I put a hat on?
I don't know. J.J. McCarthy just said he would look amazing.
He did. Yeah, he did. Credits me, and he's right.
Hey, I don't know if this is true, but did you guys hear the story about J.J. McCarthy on the Ben Maller show like 40 minutes ago?
No.
I can't verify this. If they're trolling us, I'm going to walk right into the trap. Ben Maller told the story that J.J. McCarthy, when the Vikings sent him a playbook to go over, right, that they put a $100 bill at the end of it to test to see if he'd gone all the way through it, which, again, the cutest little test ever to see if these college kids are actually like doing their work, right? The Jamarcus Russell one, super famous,
the best,
the blank tape or whatever. He said he'd watched film and they were like, "There's nothing on that film, dude."
Yeah.
God dang it. Anyway, according to Ben Maller, there was a $100 bill at the end of J.J. McCarthy's Vikings playbook, and he mailed the $100 back to Kwesi and said, "You can give me this when I win you a Super Bowl."
Which?
Wow.
Yeah, $100.
Yeah, I know,
mean,
but it's like,
you wouldn't bend over to pick up $100.
If that's true, I love the little rabbit hole tests.
Let's put a $100 bill at the end.
Yeah.
Let's see if he notices.
Zach, does he pass the rabbit hole test?
Yeah, does he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to find out today. I'm going to ask him.
Wasn't there something, I think, was it when Seattle signed TJ Houshmandzadeh?
Yeah, the poison pill.
But there was something where, with his watch, where I think Seattle, they took his watch and they're like, "You're going to come back and get this," or something stupid like that, where you're like, come on. These are professional athletes. Like, some of these dumb things they do, but
yeah.
First day of a new era.
What a day, man.
Well, how about the day?
How about
It's
yesterday?
perfect, dude.
How
It
about
worked
yesterday
out
when
perfectly.
Ben Lieber tweeted that mock draft that had J.J. McCarthy going 11 and then whoever the hell else it was, some defensive player going 23.
Postavolis.
And he was like, "This is the dream scenario." And we're like, "Yeah, but that's,
not happening.
It's like a 0.1% chance." It basically happened.
Right. I mean,
McCarthy at 10, Dallas Turner at 17.
according to Mel Kiper, who's been doing this for a while, Dallas Turner is the best defensive player in the draft, right? They got him with the 17th overall pick. Did they give up a lot? Sure. But if he's a stud, who cares? And they still have next year's first-round pick, and they still found their way to their quarterback.
LG.
Last night was a home run.
We got some.
It's a home run.
LFG.
Really, yeah, LFG. We got a break.
Yeah, the Vikings don't have another draft pick, though, until 2032 now, but that's okay. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Power Hour is live at 8 a.m. It's weekdays at 8 a.m. Thanks to Quantum Fiber. You can watch it at KFAN.com/watch. Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed.
Thanks, Zacho. What a day. What a world. What a world. Ladies and gentlemen, our general manager, Kwesi Adafo-Mensah, talking about trading to get up to the 10th pick and get our quarterback.
You know, we always talk about minimizing regret. And, you know, if you're sitting on your couch one day and you're like, that extra fifth or whatever it was, and it could have had a chance at a guy that you think has traits and could be special, you're never going to care about that 5th round pick, and there's ways of getting it back.
Yep, nailed it.
Correct.
Quality over quantity.
100%.
I know they don't have a lot of picks as of right now. The rest of this draft and maybe even next year's with the trades they've made, but
Except for the Falcons pick.
who cares?
Yeah, they have 3 picks next year.
And
One
the
for,
Falcons.
yeah. And then they have, let's see, I have it written down here. They have 1 4th, 2 6th, and 2 7th round picks the rest of the way. So they won't pick again till tomorrow.
It felt weird, though, because I had zero faith
Crabs?
in this front. Yes, the Crabs, too. In this front office, they have swung and missed on all but one player, and that player, it sounds like, Kwesi did not want. He wanted to trade back, and KOC said, let's take Addison. So I'm all for getting as close to the can't miss people as possible because we cannot afford the swing and miss anymore. You swing and miss 2 full seasons, basically, you're already behind the 8 ball a little bit.
Oh, the other big story from yesterday is the Justin Herbert story, which the Vikings are adamantly denying. Kwesi is denying it, but I think everybody realized the Vikings were trying to get up to 3, probably to take Drake May. Looks like whatever they were asked to give up was too much, so they said, let's gamble and see if we can get McCarthy at 11 or 10. But then the story came out that the Patriots and the Vikings had both reached out to the Chargers about the availability of Justin Herbert, and according to the sources, were quickly dismissed, that the Chargers weren't interested. And then the Vikings were asked about it, and Kwesi said, quote, I don't know where this stuff comes from. I wish I could tell you how much joy we get from seeing the stuff that gets written. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where this stuff comes from. Sometimes it works out in our favor. I can't even respond. So he basically is saying, I think it's made up. Yeah. But there's other sources saying the Patriots and the Vikings asked about Herbert.
Why wouldn't you, though?
Yeah, now, to be fair, one of the main reasons you do that is you just have to do your due diligence that maybe the Chargers are going to take McCarthy.
Right.
Because of Harbaugh. That's probably just are you guys taking McCarthy?
But you'd be silly to not attempt for it, because we'd heard rumors for a while that maybe they're interested in moving away from him, which is insane, because if you have your franchise quarterback, why would you get rid of him? It's a known commodity. Even these great prospects, they don't always work out. Most of the time, in fact, they don't work out. So,
what's the longest river in Cambodia? Denial.
Yeah.
I like it.
I get it.
I like it.
That's right. That's right.
This is a great day to be a Vikings fan.
It's a great day.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
Because we have hope, and we never have hope.
And for at least one day, it looks like Kwesi absolutely just crushed it. Knocked it out of the park.
Crushed it.
But like Chris would have said, he has not had a good start when it comes to the drafts. He's basically 0 for 2.
He's done great. What do you think of that?
However, this on paper looks fantastic. Now, if 6 months from now, J.J. McCarthy can't crack the lineup, or he gets in because Darnold can't play, and he looks terrible, I still think Kwesi is going to be make or break with this draft.
Yeah.
Right? His drafting of J.J. McCarthy might be his fate either way, right, towards greatness or to be done. But that's why you pay the guy. If you're sitting at home going, man, I don't like J.J. McCarthy, I don't trust him, blah blah blah. Well, then if Kwesi's wrong, then he's out the door. That's the job of a general manager. So they scouted him, they like him. If he's wrong, he's gone.
And as you said yesterday, Core, there was a situation where we thought their A topic was to get all the way up to 3 to take Drake May, and then the backup B plan was to get J.J. McCarthy. If we're sitting here right now and they take Michael Penix or Bo Nix, it's settling.
Yeah.
This isn't settling. This was their second plan. Settling would have been Bo Nix or Michael Penix. They didn't do that. They
That's
hit a
the other
home
thing
run,
about the Falcons pick. If we had gone defense at 11 and Penix at 23, I'd have been like, oh, God.
Right.
And they took him at 8.
They took him before McCarthy.
Yeah.
How about the guy? How about the guy yesterday that he bet $200 at plus 2,000 that a quarterback would go with the 10th pick because he thought the Jets would take Rodgers' backup, and it still hit because the Vikings moved up to pick 10.
Wow.
Gambling is the best, right, Corey?
Pretty much.
Here's Dallas
Vikings
Turner.
did it.
Our
They
latest
gambled.
defensive stud on being a Viking.
Hockey was my first love.
Nope, that's not it.
Oh, brilliant.
God, everybody likes
They love
Everybody
me.
loves you.
Dallas, be cool.
Yeah.
Everybody be cool.
It was definitely a surreal moment, seeing the area code and then, seeing where the phone call was coming from. But, I already knew what
We're on
time it
TV
was.
right now,
with,
guys. Everybody be cool.
having to visit over there with Coach O'Connell and, Queshy and Coach Flores as well. But, I just want to give a thanks to those dudes and thanks to the Will family, just for taking a chance on me, just picking me up in the 17 and actually trading up.
All right. Defense.
Yeah, exactly what they needed. Probably their two biggest needs, and they got both of them without having to move that 2025 first round pick.
Did you guys see what I just did?
No.
I'm changing hats every time they come to us to a different sponsor.
Oh, bro.
That's funny.
Will you throw me the 7th Avenue pizza hat? Or do you have it on?
What did he say?
Can you throw me the 7th Avenue pizza hat, or do you have it on?
And do you think I can throw through a window?
Zach's wearing a... Yeah.
Well, good point. I meant theater of the mind metaphor.
Yeah, and that's the other thing he does is he wears our sponsors. He doesn't acknowledge his own. You want my Zero Res hat?
Yeah, sure.
Here, you want a Raising
I don't know
Cane's hat?
what's
Throw
over
this
there.
on.
Zach's wearing an ISIS hat.
Oh, Zach, come on.
All right, I think we're supposed to be on that show at like 6:04. So should we break now?
We better break.
Right. Front page sports from the Power Trip Morning Show returns after.
That's right. Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show. We are live post Minnesota Vikings draft. Big things are afoot for your squad. Not one, but two great players have joined our squad. And we are about to be on KARE 11 to show everybody our faces for radio.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's happening.
Hawk, I love your visor, man.
Dude, I'm a visor guy now.
I'm glad you're wearing visors.
It's not just a visor; it's a Bell Bank visor. You know.
You gotta. I'm glad you're rocking visors now.
I rock.
It's
things.
a good look.
I like to rock. You know, that's what I do.
So when we do this crosstalk here with KARE 11 and talk about the NFL draft,
crosstalk.
Sauce, this is going to be your time to shine. That was your Christmas.
Yeah.
They're going to rely on you.
That's okay.
For information.
Yeah, I have plenty.
Power Trip Morning Show on KFAN are excited. They are joining us now. Good morning to everybody. So happy to have you here on Sunrise.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi, Paul, Corey, everyone. The gang's all here. Hawk.
Hey.
First round over. What draft grade are you giving the Vikings so far? Are we looking at A, B, D+?
I would go an A. I think it's one of the best drafts the Vikings have ever had. You got your quarterback, you got a defensive player, and you didn't have to give up your first-round pick next year. They gave up some picks all around the 4th, 3rd, and 5th round this year and next year. That doesn't really matter. They got two very, very good players. I think it's one of the best drafts they've had in a long time, and nationally, a lot of people are saying it was the best draft last night.
You know, you could give it an A+, Paul.
Yeah,
I'll give it an A+. That's a grade you're not used to.
I'll go A+. Hawk said A+. Love the visor, Hawk.
Thank you very much.
You look beautiful.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, we're very excited. I think the fans are even more excited. If we'd come out of last night and not had a quarterback, I think it would have been a major disappointment for the fans. So we got the best of both worlds. We got a quarterback of the future and a great defensive player. Two great players in one night. What more do you want?
Man, it all worked out so perfectly. So they made a big splash here in the first round. Obviously, what's the game plan for the rest of the draft here?
Well, today there's nothing unless Kwesi moves again, right, Sauce? They have no picks today in rounds 2 or 3, so they could move back up, but they don't have a lot of draft capital to do that, so likely they're just out until tomorrow. Sauce.
Yeah, they have. They have a 4th-round pick, 2 6th, and 2 7. So as Corey said, they aren't going to pick until tomorrow, if they even pick at all. Maybe they move around the board tomorrow and try and get some of those guys. But yeah, it'll be a easy night tonight for the Vikings because they all knew we had to get ready for the Wolves game.
Yeah, that's true too. And I'll tell you what we've got to do today, then, since we don't have any picks, is get to know our new quarterback. We have a franchise quarterback. We have a kid we're going to be watching play for the longest time, and for at least the next 8 months, we got something very, very exciting to dream about. We might have our quarterback for the next 8 years on the roster right now. Who knows? So that's what we do today. We look forward to the possible future,
and it will make
giving us hope.
It will make some of the preseason games exciting as well too.
They're always exciting, John.
Oh, hang on. Let's not say things we can't take back.
They're always exciting.
Don't make me argue with you. I love
preseason football.
They're fighting
awesome.
now. All right, you gotta listen to we love you guys. I'll say hi to Chris. Hi, John. Sorry I didn't say hi. Is Marnie there too? If Marnie's there, hi, Marnie.
Marnie's no longer with us.
She was drinking all night. Sorry.
Yeah, she's downstairs drinking.
All right, love you, Alicia.
Love you.
Love you guys. All right, thank you for your time. Of course, we got lots to say.
They do. We could have done that.
We blew it.
No, he didn't.
Sash, you blew it.
I did not.
Corey asked you a question. You just sat there.
No, I didn't know. I don't know how to do TV. I thought they would go back and then counterpoint.
You don't know how to do the English language.
Well, okay. Why are you guys so mean to me?
When Corey said, Sauce, they're not picking today because of this, right?
No, but
Sauce, and then you're just like...
And then I kind of explained it, but I was throwing it to you. I was lobbing it up to you, like, clarify for the KARE 11 listeners, and you just go,
Yeah. Here's a tip. When somebody says, Sauce, question, then you answer.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It was a shot.
It was like
we wrecked it. Hey, but I love the visor.
It was like the 09 NFC title game when Favre held the ball out to hand it to Adrian, and he just dropped it.
Yeah.
He didn't even take the hand off.
That was hot potato.
Yeah.
That was not good. I'm sorry. I wrecked it.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about?
I'll tell you what,
though?
we looked good.
You were looking this way.
Well, I said we. I wasn't. You weren't one of us.
Oh,
kid, you look great, babe.
No, I look fat.
No, you didn't look fat. Yeah, silly.
She's so nice, too. She was like, I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Right. Yeah, I know. She wasn't wearing her glasses.
Easy.
You know, last year when Jordan Addison was a pick, your lovely wife Kel videotaped you or recorded you on her phone, and you just go, "Wow, wow!" Right? To sum up the 2023 draft, Sauce would just say, "Ooh, wow, wow." Based on the videos she tweeted last night, the only phrase you used all night was "Let's go, let's go."
Yeah, I was excited.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't be excited.
Let's go.
You guys are not as fun as.
Let's go.
Yeah. You guys aren't fun today.
Hey, what are you talking about? Am I not having
You guys
fun?
are being a-holes.
Hey, we didn't blow our appearance on KARE 11.
Let's
go.
We didn't blow J.J. McCarthy.
Let's go. Calm down, Zach.
Well, speak for yourself.
Calm down.
Well, let's not scare him away. Yeah, I was excited. I'm sorry,
I
Captain
don't know why
Grinch.
you're so meany.
Yeah.
Why you're so upset? I thought you did great.
No, Captain Grinch over here is being a.
How do you know?
You're
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm just recapping your night. I'm not even, I'm not judging it. I'm just saying.
I was excited.
Corey, I love your cereal.
Let's go. Thank you.
Brilliant. I was excited. I'm sorry.
You
I won't
should
be
be.
excited. I'll just sit there in silence like you do.
Hey.
Down in my basement all alone where nobody wants to be with me, and I'll just,
Zach,
when the Vikings make a good pick, I'll just go.
Call back KARE 11 and tell them give us one more chance.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't think
We're
we
going to
got a
straighten our
shot.
asses up.
Well, I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to be on
Thanks, Spice Girl.
I just
scat man.
No, you said I don't want to be.
Oh,
I just clicked on a link about.
Yeah, sorry, I sent you that.
No, thank you for that link.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, now they're talking about the Wolves Suns.
Yeah, they're not coming
Game
back
3.
this
Come
way.
back to us. We have hot takes. Sauce, they play tonight at 9:30, right? Thank
That
God.
was when I looked over though, he was looking to the hills. So it clearly was like he wasn't listening to anything you had said. Even though most of the time, and my wife will do it if I'm zoned out, she'll be like, John, honey, in the middle of it, and it will get my attention. You said Paul or Sauce at least 2 times, maybe 3. And it was no like, hey.
I didn't hear that.
Clearly.
I'm not.
I heard that.
That's why I was kind of like, hey.
Sometimes I hope I die next time on the way here when you 4 are here. You guys are mean.
It's not on the way.
No, I'm not having fun today.
We're not. So specifically, 4 of us are here.
Yep, I'm not showing up anymore. You guys are being mean.
Well, listen, unless we want him dead, one of us has got to stay home on Fridays.
Dang it.
Well, but Saucy, I'm sorry. I thought this was a comedy show.
I didn't know. It was my turn
you didn't
to
know
talk.
the gum was loaded.
I didn't know. I thought they were going to be like, cool counterpoint,
You're taking
Corey.
it out on us.
Sauce, your thoughts.
You're taking
I
it
didn't
out on
know.
us.
That's my
You
fault.
guys have KARE 11 on right now?
No.
Of course, yeah.
Skinny Jay Cutler does weather for them. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
can
him.
see that.
I like that guy. He's a good looking dude. Right there especially. He looks like Skinny Jay Cutler. Oh, it's about to rain.
There's a lot of moisture in Minnesota right now.
Yeah,
very moist
Well,
today.
yeah, because we were just on TV.
Oh, you like it, don't you? Redwood Falls, Marshall, you're getting some rain.
Wyndham.
Sanborn, Wyndham. What about New Ulm? Mankato, it's about to hit you, brother.
It's fixing to get
Dude,
wet.
I like the name Slayton. You should name your kid
Look at
Slayton.
that low pressure system right there. Just
Hey, what color is he
pulling
wearing?
in
Is that
that
purple?
moisture.
What an L right over Nebraska.
Nebraska taking a
There's
real
going to be
L.
some big storms in Nebraska.
Thank you, Sioux Falls.
Got severe
Look at Marshall.
stuff tomorrow in Milwaukee.
Ooh, look
Watch
at
out
this.
Rochester tomorrow as well, by
Look at
the way.
that. Look at all that stuff going that way.
Just a
we're going to get
soaker.
some rain, too, in about an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be rainy all day today.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sven.
Funny how you picked Sven. Could have gone with Barlow or Belinda.
Who?
Garlow?
Yeah, he's your cousin.
Yeah, that's your missing
him.
cousin.
He died.
Time now for front
Dollar got him.
Looks like we're stuck in
Presented by
radio for the rest of our
Holiday
damn
Station
lives.
Stores.
That's my fault.
By
I
the
wrecked
way,
it.
you gave him an A. They deserve an A+.
Yeah. Okay. They deserve an A+.
I'm not
Sorry.
fun today.
No, you're not. You're being
I'm not
mean.
fun. I'm not fun today. I'm being mean.
Pfizer hockey sucks.
It's an advisor.
I don't like Pfizer hockey.
Pfizer is
It's an
brilliant.
advisor.
I was hoping they'd ask us about the
Oh,
twins.
now what,
I was
Corey?
ready for the twins talk.
No, we would have gotten us fired.
Front Page Sports. You guys are fans of Holiday Station Stores, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
You guys want to go to Holiday?
Yeah.
I can't right
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. You can get
I
Red
hope
Bull.
your penis falls off.
Why?
Yeah, why would that in any way
Juice is loose.
be to your advantage?
I'm not talking to anyone specifically.
That would suck.
Are you just saying that random?
Buy 2, get 1 free Red Bulls at Holiday. Go check that out. Also, those 79 cent, what are those called? Like the XL cups or whatever. You can get like a soda for 79 cents. And then the Frosters. Yeah, the Frosters are 79 cents.
Man.
It's pretty sweet, man. Go get some soda there.
Thank you, Holiday, and thank you, Builders from Mahlers. Mahlers.com. Yeah, sorry, I'm still watching KARE 11.
Are you on TV?
You're on there more than Jay Cutler is.
I know. Last night I went to A&W Core.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Where is there an A&W?
We were on. I played in Fergus Falls last night, so I think I stopped in.
You Fergus, jeez Louise.
You Fergus?
You Fergus, jeez Louise.
That's a far ways away.
You Fergus, jeez Louise.
I go to the University of Fergus Falls.
Jeez Louise.
You Fergus. Anyway, I had an A&W root beer freeze, man.
Ooh.
Oh.
What's that?
It's a frozen root beer.
Oh, son
It's
of
like
a
ice cream and
bitch.
root beer mixed together. And they ain't nothing better than A&W root beer anyway. It's so good.
Correct.
How far is it A&W from here?
Oh, about an hour and a half.
Let's go!
I'm going to guess.
Let's go!
What would you grade it?
I would have given it an A+.
That's available.
But you were on TV, so you gave it an A.
That's exactly right.
The first pick in the draft last night was the Chicago Bears. They took quarterback Caleb Williams out of Chicago. Jaden Daniels goes second to Washington. Drake May, who a lot of people think was the target of the Vikings, that they wanted to get all the way up to number 3 to get him, but whatever they were offering, New England would have rather stayed put. That's exactly what they did. Remember, we heard that 24 hours before the draft, that the heavy favorite was that New England was comfortable staying there and taking the quarterback of the future. We thought maybe it was a last-second smokescreen, but it wasn't. They stayed put at pick 3. They take quarterback Drake May out of North Carolina. Chris, your hands
I wish
up.
I had thought of this when we were on television, because this is a real sports radio kind of thing. Sauce. Right here, right now, as we sit here.
Yeah.
What was that last quarterback? Okay.
Drake May.
Thank you. Would you rather have Drake May or J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner?
That's a very good question.
I know. I wish I'd thought about it
That's a
15
very
minutes
good
ago when my
question.
ugly ass face was on television. Where my ad visor.
I don't like Pfizer hockey. Yeah.
Why did you just get mad at me? I was asking you a great question.
I think this is an easy one, by the way.
You take McCarthy and Turner.
And I've seen Drake May play one game. It was the one against the Gophers, and he looked fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like a little bit man amongst boys. He didn't look like, oh my God, we got to give up the entire world to get him. I thought he looked like a good quarterback. Good, not great, but right. I get it. Obviously, with the title game and the semis and stuff, I've seen J.J. McCarthy maybe play parts of 5 games, right? 4 or 5 times, and he's always looked solid. But as a lot of his detractors have pointed out, not asked to do a lot because that team was a machine and Blake Corum was running up and down the field. But on paper, to Chris's question, if you say the unknown of Drake May versus the unknown of J.J. McCarthy, and we get Dallas Turner, I like this plan better.
Yeah.
And to your question, too, Hawk, you probably don't have next year's first-round pick.
I didn't even have to throw that in. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this better.
This is better,
And isn't he a closer prototype to Kirk Cousins, who we know worked in this system well? It was built around him more than Drake May. Now, I was disappointed when they didn't get Drake May. Obviously, they wanted to move up, so clearly they thought he was worth it to an extent. But I feel like he seems to be a better fit for what we currently have right now.
Dan Orlovsky on ESPN thinks he'll win the Rookie of the Year, that this is the best system for any quarterback drafted last night.
So, but that is saying, I mean, ideally, Darnold will play the majority of the season and it just settle. I agree with you.
But what if Darnold?
I just had to renew season tickets and they're not cheap.
What if JJ's better? What if they get to training camp and JJ's better?
That would be awesome. But what I don't want now, this isn't like throwing him to the wolves on one of these really bad teams like New England or something like that. Yeah. I just hope that they don't listen to outside pressure and put him in a situation that they don't need to, because in my mind, this team this year, I'm not optimistic that they're going to do anything. If they somehow made the playoffs, it's going to be a one and done situation. I'm set up more for, all right, we'll just get through this year and set ourselves up for the future.
Right.
That's my hope.
I mean, Chris, I guess the easiest way to answer your question is if we knew the gap between Drake May and J.J. McCarthy was just epic, right?
Yeah,
like the difference between Kerry Russell and baseball prospect Marla Hooch.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well played.
I like her.
Then I would say, what are we doing? Now, ultimately, here comes the stating of the obvious. 2 or 3 years from now, we might look back and go, God, we should have given up 9 first-rounders for Drake May because he's unbelievable and J.J. McCarthy was an absolute bust.
Right.
All we can do is live in the moment. Right now, I like this deal better than gambling for Drake May because we're still gambling on J.J. McCarthy, but this is gambling with very little risk, tons of reward. Getting all the way up to May and missing is a giant risk, giant reward. I like this plan better.
And it seems like Dallas Turner is a pretty safe pick.
You can recover quickly in this situation because you have next year's first and going on.
Exactly. Lower risk. Lower risk, maybe just as high of a reward. Who knows?
To comment on something, but you're already mad at me. So
I'm not mad at you. Go ahead. I love you.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
mad at me. Are you not? With all due respect,
I'm not mad at anybody
I don't
anymore.
think
I moved on.
quicklier is a word.
What?
You said quicklier.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't think
Sauce,
it's a word.
I'm going to let you do this.
I like
it's time to go to break. What should we do?
Let's go.
We've got a JJ to JJ connection, Minnesota. Your Vikings took JJ McCarthy in the NFL draft. And you can rep the same, or rep the new JJ to Justin Jefferson connection with our new shirt. Head over to KFAN.com/store to snag yours today. That's KFAN.com/store.
Good morning, everybody. Doug Dittenbrenner, local artist. I just said his name wrong, but I apologize, man. I forget how to pronounce it. What?
Oh, Nellie's here.
And he brought wings.
Oh, did he bring some wings?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Are the Eagles wings?
Yeah.
Because he is a patriotic son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He is. He actually hates America. Don't
He's a beautiful butterfly.
He's so
is what he
patriotic.
is.
He only eats Eagles wings.
Poor Glenn Fry. What happened to Glenn Fry?
Who?
The Eagle. It's not a good show.
It's okay. You get thrown off since you only gave us an A on KARE 11.
Yeah.
Should we do what really matters? Because there's stuff to talk about, like the rest of the first round, shall
That's
we?
what really matters, right?
Scores and stats around the world of sports in between. Chris changes your life. So we went through the top 3 picks. Obviously, then Marvin Harrison Jr. went 4th to the Arizona Cardinals. I would argue the first surprise, even though it still makes sense, Joe Alt, Minnesota's very own Joe Alt out of Notre Dame, goes 5th to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think everybody assumed with how they have this exodus at wide receiver with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, that was the no-brainer to take Malik Neighbors, but they go offensive line with pick 5. Sauce, were you surprised?
Yes, because now he's going to have to play right tackle. Because the kid that they got out of Northwestern a couple years ago, I forgot his name, that is their left tackle. He will play right tackle for the Chargers, but I thought they'd maybe take J.C. Latham, the actual right tackle, who played at Alabama, because they love running the ball. They want to establish the line of scrimmage. I thought it would be an offensive lineman. I did not think it would be Joe Alt.
And that it looked like his party was at Delwood Country Club.
Yeah,
that
it was.
place.
Oh, really?
Bangs.
Yeah, that place is great.
Bangs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pick 6, Malik Neighbors, wide receiver LSU, goes to the New York Giants. Now, we saw in a couple of picks here, the Atlanta Falcons take the quarterback of the future with Michael Penix, even though they just signed Kirk Cousins. Everybody talks about how the Giants have Daniel Jones on the books and he's expensive. And he's only on the books, I think, for like another year.
Right.
So picking Penix or McCarthy or Nix or whoever for the Giants would have made sense because then it's just 1 year to wait. They're not interested. They go Malik Neighbors with pick 6.
I thought they were either going to trade or take him. And again, that's why initially, before I had time to really think about it, when the Vikings got J.J. McCarthy, I'm like, what are we missing here? Because there were so many opportunities for other teams to jump ahead. It's weird.
Well, I think 2 things. A, I think the Giants were always going to take a wide receiver. On whatever draft website, on DraftKings, they were minus like 200, minus to 275. It fluctuated between that all week. I thought they were going to take a wide receiver the whole time, except if they could get up for Drake May. And I just think that the Broncos really had their sights set on Bo Nix, and it just kind of fell perfectly for the Minnesota Vikings. I just think that's the way it works.
Way she goes.
Pick 7 was the Tennessee Titans and J.C. Latham. Pick 8 was the one that shocked everybody. Michael Penix Jr. of Washington goes to the Atlanta Falcons. It makes absolutely no sense, but best of luck to him.
I read an article on the 4-Letter Network saying that Cousins' agent told ESPN that the Falcons only notified the quarterback that they would pick Penix while the team was on the clock. McCartney said that there is frustration and confusion coming from Cousins' camp because Atlanta did not use its first-round pick to make the team better this season.
Yeah, if you're trying to win a Super Bowl,
it's a horrible pick.
It makes no sense.
No, you take Roma Dunze, you take Dallas Turner, you take one of the cornerbacks. Taking a backup quarterback with the 8th overall pick is a horrible waste of a draft pick.
How about the concept of just, well, we told him when we were on the clock. That's the same as not telling him at all.
Yeah, correct.
Right? If
you don't need to tell him that.
Right. If you tell him when the day you sign him and he's in the building for the first time, you're like, look, obviously we're thrilled you're here. That's why we just gave you a buttload of money. Just so you know, we have pick 8. One of our theories is we're not going to be in the top 10 as often as we want. This is pretty rare. We might take a quarterback if the right guy falls. Just want to give you a heads up. Mm-hmm. The whole, all right, the Falcons are on the clock. Hey, Kirk, by the way, in about 13 seconds, we're going to take Michael Penix, but we're going to do the right thing and let you know.
Bye.
Thanks.
Right. And it's not like they didn't.
Very friendly.
If you asked any of us if Penix would be available at 8, everyone would say yes, he will be. So this isn't a situation where like Drake May was sliding and they're like, hey, Kirk, sorry, man, we have to make this pick right now. We have to do it.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Now, the other thing that needs to be considered, there is a lot of medical research that has said if you tear one Achilles, there is a increased chance that you can tear your other one or have other injuries as you're compensating. So this is also an insurance policy, but why Penix?
But Penix is a medical disaster as well. He's like the dude from Operation.
Yeah.
He's had, 2 torn ACLs?
They love Penix.
They have
He's had
to.
shoulder
Maybe
issues.
they're going to make one great quarterback.
Yeah.
Combine the two
Maybe
of them.
they're both going to play.
Frankenstein.
That might be the best thing you've said all day.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Corey.
Wait a minute, who are you talking about?
Sauce.
Oh, yeah.
You have Kirk Cousins.
It's a rarity.
You have Kirk Cousins under center, like that show that he had with Rosen. But then you have Penix on the field somewhere. And then maybe like Kirk immediately throws the ball to Michael once in a while, and then he throws it again.
Yeah, it just...
2 quarterbacks. What do you must?
Right. It's a really, really, really bad pick, and they can spin it any way they want. As I said earlier, just take him at 8 and don't even sign Kirk Cousins. That's what you should have done.
So bizarre.
Rome Odunze, the wide receiver out of Washington, went 9th to the Chicago Bears, so they get a wide receiver and a quarterback in the top 9. And then, of course, the Vikings traded up from 11 to 10 just in case the Broncos or Raiders got dicey. They swap picks with the Jets from 10 and 11. They give up a 4th and a 5th. Who cares? Again, take 40 picks. Doesn't matter. And the Vikings drafted quarterback J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. But what really matters is this.
In 1976, groundskeeper Richard Arndt caught Hank Aaron's 755th home run ball. He tried to return it to Aaron, but was told that he was not available. The next day, the Brewers fired him for stealing team property, the ball, and then deducted $5 from his final paycheck. In 1999, he sold that ball at auction for $625,000.
So more than $5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with inflation,
is...
it's probably close.
Wow.
Well, I don't think he regrets it.
No.
Good retirement plan.
With pick 17, the Minnesota Vikings took Dallas Turner, edge rusher out of Alabama. They trade up from 23 to 17.
Yeah, he's SEC Defensive Player of the Year. He had 10 sacks, 10 and a half, I think it was, last year without Will Anderson, who went in front of, who was the 3rd overall pick in the 2023 draft. A lot of people thought he'd be a top 10 pick. A lot of people have him as the best defensive player in the draft. They gave up a lot, but they kept that first-round pick from next year. Another, on paper, home run pick.
Alec Lewis, who joins the Paul Allen Project from time to time, 9 to noon, made this point last night on Twitter, and I kind of like this when you're talking about Dallas Turner. Now, the Vikings got the phone call from the Houston Texans a couple of months ago, right? Everybody says the Texans are the one who initiated the call about pick 23. And the Vikings said, sure, we'll take it, right? That gives us more high-powered ammunition if we want to try to truly move up, and it looks like they tried to. But Alec Lewis says, if you're super pumped about Dallas Turner, just for perspective, if you factor in the Vikings trade to acquire number 23 from the Texans, Minnesota essentially gave up a 2024 second rounder and sixth rounder and fifth rounder. I don't know why he has it in that order. That's fine. Then a second rounder in 25 and a fourth rounder in 25. So 2 seconds, a fifth, a sixth, and a fourth.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But they're late round picks.
Yeah, the fourth, fifth, and sixth, whatever.
No,
so
Rick,
basically
2 seconds.
2 seconds to get up and get them. I have zero problem with that.
Spielman.
Quality over quantity.
Would have hated
He
that.
would have hated that.
Right. As you always say, Corey, give me 3 picks in the top 50 other than 10 in the top 275.
You got to be right. You got to be
and then touch it.
You got to be right more often, right?
Yeah.
Your win percentage has to increase, but quality over quantity.
Right.
All right, more of the Power Trip Morning Show. More of what really matters after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
This is Tight Whips. No, I'm sorry. This is the band Nuclei, and they're playing a song. No, it's the other way around. This is Tight Whips and a song called Nuclei. Sorry, some of them are loaded differently by our lovely unpaid interns. But thank you. If you have a local song, a local band you'd like to have us play, hockeyKFAN.com, send it to us. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we continue to celebrate. The Minnesota Vikings have a new quarterback of the future. Is this year the future? We don't know yet. We'll find that out. But KOC is real excited.
JJ was a guy, very, very early in the process. Obviously, coming off of a national championship, guys won at every level he's been at. And then when you really dive into the tape and some of the things that I really look for and really emphasize in my evaluation process, there was a lot to really like about JJ's tape. And that was before, he absolutely crushed the process postseason, which is hard to do when you've won a national championship and done some of the things that he did as a college quarterback.
Corey, before we dive back into what really matters, can I ask Meat Sauce, our resident NFL draft expert, a question?
Sauce?
Yes.
Sauce, we've been talking for months about J.J. McCarthy on and off.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like you love him. Sometimes I think you're lukewarm on him. I know you're happy we picked him where we did, and we didn't give up the entire future of the franchise to do it. That's a great thing. Is J.J. McCarthy good enough, in your opinion, that even if he's an average to good quarterback, he could be great in this offense? Your thoughts?
Yes, 1,000% he can be very good in this offense. This is a very similar offense to what they ran in Michigan. They ran a lot of play action. They ran a lot of stuff with, putting wide receivers, pushing them down the field, but they also ran a lot, which the Vikings should probably try and do. He's a very, very, very good quarterback for this system. And I think if you could have hand-picked the quarterback that would fit best in this system, it's J.J. McCarthy.
I love it. Do you see what he did there, Corey? He was succinct. He had a point. He made it. He got out.
And he was listening.
If only he'd done that when we were on KARE 11.
Put your visor back on.
I just love it because they went to us and said, they're talking Vikings down there. I was doing a Wenzel's Farm spot when they came to me.
Now, this year is going to be funny because every year always, and for a long time, anytime the starting quarterback would have a bad game, except when it was Kirk, everyone's calling for the backup. It's one of the greatest Minnesota traditions. And now we're back to that. The minute Sam Darnold throws an interception, it's going to be JJ.
Yeah, I would argue about 12 hours ago that officially started because, look, when Sam Darnold signs a 1-year deal, he knows his time is already, the clock's ticking, right? I would argue best case scenario, he plays most of the year, plays well enough where somebody else gives him a deal. Worst case scenario is JJ just beats him out in camp and he starts game 1.
Yep.
And I don't think that's impossible. I know they probably want Sam Darnold to start. I don't know if "want's" even the right word. Maybe they expect, hey, let's give the kid as much time as he needs. But when the panel asked KOC that question last night on the draft party here on KFAN, he wasn't super, he wasn't committed saying Sam Darnold's definitely going to start game 1. It was just, let's get depth, let's do this, let's do that. Maybe you have the exact quote, Chris, but he seemed to be open to anything.
I'm not sure if this is the one you're talking about. This is KOC on Sam Darnold.
Sam knows exactly, how I feel about him and the excitement I have for him being a Minnesota Viking. And he also understood that with the conversations that I had with him, that more than likely we were going to trying to add another quarterback to that room and a guy that we hope to build around. sound for the future. But as far as I'm concerned, those guys' challenge is just to work every single day to be the best version of themselves, because our football team will benefit from that. And the same goes for Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall.
So, Sauce, for the last couple of weeks when we've been talking about the Patriots, there's no right answer, but you've been basically saying if you're the Patriots, you don't take Drake May because the supporting cast is so bad he's going to get killed, right? You would trade back with the Vikings, get a whole bunch more. Other people like me and whoever, Lieber and stuff, are saying, yeah, but this is your chance to get your franchise quarterback, right?
Sure.
And then build around him. That's why, because the Vikings have everything in place for a quarterback to succeed, even if conceptually the Vikings are like, man, I would really like JJ to learn for as long as possible so we don't have to throw him right into the fire. If any setup is ready for a kid like him to just get in there and learn, it's this one.
You are correct.
So I just hope that and I think they will be, I hope KOC is just open to the idea that if JJ wins the camp battle, he starts week 1, not like Darnold starts with a short leash. If he's the best quarterback, you didn't give Sam Darnold $90 million. You gave him 10.
Yeah.
Who cares? Put JJ in week 1 if he's ready.
Yeah, like you said, even if they're even if you look at them both,
give it to the kid.
You give it to the kid. Here's another thing. Joe Reedy, who writes for the AP and writes about the Chargers and
Joe
sports.
Reedy is a writer?
Reedy, yeah, Reedy, right? Reedy?
It'd be awesome if Joe Ryder was a proofreader.
Yeah, right.
Is it Reedy?
No, I'm sure you're right. I was
but he said
righty. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Paul
Sorry,
Speaky.
Brilliant. He said last night, Harbaugh said he stayed in the Chargers draft room and saw J.J. McCarthy get picked by the Vikings, and he said the following: that's where he wanted to go. I was praying and pulling for it to work out the way he wanted it to work out, and the stars aligned.
That's awesome.
So you take that for what you want. But if anybody knows where he wants to go, it's his head coach at Michigan, who he absolutely loved and called the best quarterback in the draft. So take that, Drake May.
And look at last year, how when Kirk snapped his Achilles, it was, all right, season's over, we're done. And they cobbled together. They cobbled together. If the ball bounces a couple different ways, that ends up being a playoff team. Yeah, right. Which is, so to your point, this team is very set up for it, but specifically KOC is more equipped than I think any head coach to really put this guy in a spot to succeed.
He won a game where he was telling Josh Dobbs who the player he was going to throw to is and what the name was, right?
Yeah.
He had to basically be like, hey, when so-and-so breaks, throw it on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
This should be great. It's not guaranteed, but this should be great.
Right.
Corey, I'm going to play you one more bit of sound because I was on stage at the University of Fergus Falls last night, so I didn't get to hear the draft party at all. Here is when the trade happened as we were broadcasting live on KFAN.
Oh, we have a trade.
Oh, here we go.
Here we have a trade.
Here we go.
And the Vikings have traded into 10.
Here it comes.
The Vikings have traded into 10 with the Chicago Bears. Assumedly,
that was with the Jets.
Oh, with the Jets. Thank you. So the Vikings go up to 10. The Jets go back to 11. We see a very joyous Chicago Bears draft room because their pick at 9 was Rome Odunze. And now you go to 10. U.S. Bank Stadium, the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. They had picks 11 and 23. They now don't have 11 and 23. We don't know what the compensation is.
Man, that's cool. That's okay, to your guys' point all week, though. The fans wanted a quarterback.
But no, they wanted McCarthy. Can you imagine? If the name would have been Bo Nix?
Well played. Yeah,
it would not have been thunderous applause. It would have been like, what? Bo Nix? I mean, it would have been shock and confusion.
Correct. Yeah. So well said. Yeah.
Everybody had their fingers crossed. This is 99% JJ McCarthy. Don't do something stupid.
Yep.
Don't do something crazy. And they didn't.
Thankfully. My wife had fallen asleep on the couch at that point. She would have woken up to the house on fire. I would have set that bitch on a blaze.
No, I said, if they take Bo Nix, I'm putting the house up.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I wouldn't have even warned the family.
How happy are you that your guy Butthole Eyes has Bo Nix?
I love it. Because, Butthole Eyes sucks. The Saints are terrible, and we still hate Butthole Eyes, right, John?
100%.
Yeah, he's trash.
100%.
Yeah, I'm glad. I hope Bo Nix has a decent career, but not with the Saints.
I hope a hurricane hits Denver now.
Jesus.
What? Now, wow. I mean, whoa.
I know it's unlikely, but
sure, it's possible. But what really matters is this.
You are correct.
Hey, yo.
In April of 2018, Robert Pope completed the Forrest Gump run, in which he ran across America 5 times in 422 days. It's estimated that he ran 15,607 miles. How about that? How did we not know that?
Right.
It just happened in 2018.
Did that get news coverage?
It had to have.
Did we talk about it on the show?
I'm sure we talked about it.
2-3 segments about it.
Yeah, we probably did.
That's probably why Hawk did the walk, is we were inspired by that bit.
Bob Pope.
Yeah, Bob Pope.
Congrats.
Yeah, Bob Pope.
It sounds exhausting.
Not only does it sound exhausting, if it doesn't get news coverage, I wonder if the second or third time across the country you're going, no one's even noticed.
Nobody cares.
I'm doing this for no one.
You start calling people, right?
I bet he thought people were going to follow him, and they never did.
Yeah, or for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, guess what Rob Pope's doing?
Yeah, we'll catch him on the way back.
If you've gone across the country a time or two and nobody's following you, don't you just hop in a car and at least skip a couple of states?
Yeah.
Right, and say, no one's going to notice if I skipped Missouri. I'm tired.
I kept driving by him going, I'm going to tell you what happens to Jenny in the end.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
She was kind of terrible to you.
Yeah.
Don't know why you love her so much.
Yeah.
She's the bad guy in this film.
Right, yeah. She only came back when she was broke.
And had AIDS.
Oh, she did.
That's
true.
Sounded like a harsh joke, but that was the truth.
No, I wasn't joking.
I know.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, John, I'm glad you finally told Forrest.
Yeah. Oh, Forrest.
How'd that happen, Jenny? How'd you get...
That's not how she died, though.
True.
She had, no. You know what? I'm going to change the subject. Dallas Turner, your thoughts?
I always thought that that's what she died of.
That's exactly what she died of.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry,
there was
Dr.
a sequel.
Halverson.
There was a sequel to the book, and in the sequel, Forrest Jr. has AIDS.
Oh, really?
What? It's dark, man.
What are we doing?
I did not know that.
Dallas Turner's great, Hawk.
I've read that book and I don't remember that.
Yeah.
The second one?
Yeah, I've read it. I'm not kidding. The only thing, here's my brain, Zach O'Halverson.
Sure.
The only thing I remember about Forrest Gump 2 is that he invented New Coke. It was his fault. I don't remember the last part.
No, it was a big story because they were gonna do the movie, the sequel, and that was one of the things. New Coke was another one of the things, and then 9/11 happened, and then they're like, we're not going to do this anymore.
Because New Coke, AIDS, and then 9/11, all those things.
They said that changed the country, and they didn't feel like it was. I don't know. It was weird. But
this whole segment so far, weird.
Yeah, this is weird.
So anyway, Dallas Turner.
Yeah, let's go Dallas Turner.
He was pick 17.
You damn right he was.
No relation to Ted.
Oh, can we be sure?
Yeah, you don't know that, Russ.
Super fast, I guess, very explosive. I've seen him play exactly 0 times. I've seen Alabama play, but I wasn't watching Dallas Turner.
Yeah.
Never heard the name until about 2 months ago, but everybody loves him.
He's very good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thought he'd be a top 10 pick. They got him at 17. That's a win.
That's a win.
There were a lot of people that thought he was going to be the first defensive player off the board, right? Anywhere between 8 and 12 or something, but 14 straight offensive players.
Everybody thought he'd go 8.
What did we give up to get him? I never did read that.
I've got it right.
I think a 4th and a 5th, right?
They gave up.
I thought that was the other one.
Jacksonville got pick 23, a 2024 5th round pick, a 2025 3rd round pick, and a 2025 4th round pick.
So a 5th, 3rd, and a 4th.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you love him that much, if he's that much better than everybody else.
I thought they were maybe moving up because at that point, no corner had been taken. I thought they were going to move up for a corner.
Yeah, I was sad to see that corner everybody loves went to Detroit, man.
Terry and Arnold.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should have made that illegal.
But even if all this doesn't work out, it was all worth it for last night. That was fun.
It was pretty fun.
After decades of trading back and just disappointing draft nights.
No, we've stopped talking about Forrest Gump.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were still, I'm sorry.
Jenny, just a bareback.
Would you?
Very hairy.
She did a lot of drugs.
Allergic to condoms.
Yeah, we all are.
Is it my turn?
I don't know.
This should have been on KARE 11.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Game 3 between the Wolves and the Suns is tonight. It all comes down to this, kind of. 2-0, the Minnesota Timberwolves lead. For just the second time in their franchise history, they have a 2-0 series lead. Phoenix slightly favored, though, but who cares? Not for the series anymore like they were before the series started, but slight favorites in Game 3. 9:30-ish or so, right? So probably a tip at 9:40 something. Jesus.
Maybe. Yeah,
Game's going to be over at midnight.
That's hopeful.
That's late.
Fine with me, though.
Yeah, who cares? It's a Friday.
The Friday night
See, that's the thing. It's Friday.
It's Friday night. If you love that team, stay up and watch it or listen to it right here on The Fan. What really matters, though, is this.
Exactly right, Corey. You're exactly right.
Thanks.
Plants receive more energy on a cloudy day in the summer than on a sunny day in the winter. I did not know that. You would think because more sun equals more good, but apparently they need the warm too. Or maybe the sun's brighter. Hell, I don't know.
I don't get it.
Okay.
I mean, I believe you. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The Minnesota Twins yet again beat the White Sox 6-3. They get the 4-game sweep against the worst team in baseball, maybe the worst team ever. They're on pace to be the worst team ever. They're 3-22.
And they needed to walk off the other day to beat this awful, awful team that should be relegated. Yeah, they're not even trying.
That's a good point.
They're really bad.
Can you
really
imagine if they brought that, like the Saints, like finish in the top 3, now they're in the major leagues?
That'd be funny.
Bring it here.
Hell yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I love the Saints.
They could probably beat the White Sox.
Probably beat the Twins.
But what really matters is this.
You guys, you've done nothing compared to good old William Mitchell.
Correct.
He's one of us. He was born in Raymond, Minnesota. When he was a teenager, he ran the sugar crystallization tanks at the American Sugar Beet Company. Slept 2 hours a night and then got up and went to school. Earned himself an undergraduate degree at Cotner College in Lincoln, Nebraska. Graduated with a master's degree from the University of Nebraska. Got himself a job at General Foods Corporation. Between the years of 1941 and 1976, he did the following. He invented Pop Rocks, Tang, Cool Whip, and powdered egg whites. What have you done today?
Not a damn thing.
Right.
No, I've done nothing.
We just offended half the population, that's all.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Pop Rocks, your thoughts?
A+.
Tang.
See, now my sources say you don't like Tang.
Yeah. Tommy hates it.
Oh.
I don't get it.
He tried it.
Yeah.
He's more of a Johnsonville guy.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool Whip, your thoughts?
Love it.
Love it.
The best.
So good.
Eat it straight out of the tub. And I mean the bathtub.
Wow.
I've never had
As soon as I get out of the bathtub, go for the fridge, baby.
Cool Whip. Like, I've had it out of the can. I've never had it out of
That's
the...
not Cool Whip.
Oh.
You're talking about just
So
whipped
it's
cream.
different?
That's Ready Whip.
That's Ready
Yeah.
Whip.
And
Ready
Ready
Whip.
Whip also
Yeah.
whale.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but is it
That's
better
breast
out of
milk,
the
buddy.
can or in the bowl?
The tub. Out of the tub.
No,
yeah.
it's better out of the can.
Let me tell you right now.
Ooh.
What?
When you shoot it in your mouth.
Oh.
It's so good, man.
Button bar.
It's so good.
What is?
Ready Whip is so good.
When's it best?
When you shoot it into your mouth. I'm telling you.
Keep
You don't have to tell
I
me.
would walk
Lower
by
your
the
voice when
fridge
you
and
say
open
that.
it up and just go, psh.
One more time.
Yeah.
You don't-
One more time.
No, I'm not saying
You don't have to
anything.
tell me, buddy.
One more time.
Right. You shoot it into your mouth.
Yes. Touch it.
Oh, I'd have some right now. I love Ready Whip.
Can I tell you guys another one?
Please do.
Yes, please.
Of course.
Babyface Nelson. You remember
Yeah.
from...
He's sitting right next to me.
From We're Far Out There.
Yeah.
What the hell's the name of that movie?
Oh, brother, we're out, though.
Yeah, I was close.
It's fantastic.
So good.
Babyface Nelson killed more FBI agents than any other criminal in the history of criminals.
Get out of here. Right? So he would just, take out the old Tommy gun and just let everybody have it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What an interesting character he was in that film,
Yeah.
right? He was super happy when they were taking him to do him in. And remember the money flying out of the back of the car and he just had the sad look on his face?
Yep.
That may have been one of the greatest acting scenes in history. I got to know more about Babyface.
Remember, he just, in the movie at least, he just wanted people to know his name.
Yeah, he didn't want to be known as Babyface.
It wasn't even about the money, though. It was just make sure you tell him it was me.
Yeah.
And he was like excited because he was getting paraded around in handcuffs.
Remember the guy
God, that movie's good.
The guy who said, "I thought you was a toad."
Yeah.
Called him George and made him happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Such a good movie, man.
A+.
Great movie.
Coen Brothers.
Haven't seen it in
wait, so
entirely too long.
Old Brother We're Out, that was an A+, but the Vikings draft was just an A.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't disagree because Old Brother is an A+ film.
Yeah, we all agree.
A+.
Yeah. But we think the Vikings draft was an A+ as well.
A+.
Speaking of A+, look at this guy behind me. Look at you.
Look at Mark Parrish.
Teddy!
Boy. How the hell are you?
I'm much better now that I see him, my brother.
The Denver Nuggets won 112-105 over the Los Angeles Lakers. That is a 3-0 series lead. And in the history of the NBA, I think it's 151-0. No team has ever blown a 3-0 series lead in the NBA. Something like 151-0.
What was the Warriors? What was that, a 3-1 that they blew it against
the
Cavaliers?
Cavs? Something like that. And then was it last year or the year before that I think it was Boston was in a series where it was 3-rip and then it went to a game 7, but then they won and didn't blow it. I think it was why do I think it was Boston?
I think you might be right. The time the Warriors lost to the Cavs, isn't that where Rosie paid you after game 3?
Yep, paid me. Said the bet's off. And then when they came back and won, he was like, well, but shouldn't I get the money? It's like, you tapped out, dude.
Speaking of that, that's what happened last night at like pick 21. I get a Venmo from Tommy paying me for the Tyler Nubin bit. Mm-hmm. The bet was $100 if he was going to be a first round pick.
Why would you just wait?
Why are you
picks?
waiting? And if he is, I'm not paying you. I'm not paying you back. You lost.
I don't understand tapping out with 11 picks to go.
Like I get it with maybe 1, but like
I would argue that's dumb. How about just wait till the end of the round?
He paid me at doesn't matter, but yeah, he paid me yesterday at like the 21st pick.
His name wasn't going to be called before pick 21?
No.
Tommy, try whipped cream, right? Try Cool Whip. Yeah. Try Pop Rocks. Try
Pop Rocks and Ready Whip.
Yeah, they're playing the Fillmore on Sunday.
You shoot it into your mouth.
Okay,
and
calm down. The news is next. Mark Parrish is here. Hey, we're playing initials at 8:15, and yes, we're going to be draft heavy the rest of the way because everybody wants to react to J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner being Minnesota Vikings. $64,000 on the line at 8:15. That is the $64,000 question is what are the initials today? This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.